Hello everyone, so I'd like to start this video off by saying right off the bat that I am not a Trump supporter. I didn't think I would need to clarify this, but yesterday when I shared the news that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I got a lot of angry messages from people that I guess are just too brain dead to understand that you can criticize a candidate without supporting their opposition. So, with that out of the way, yesterday when I got onto YouTube, I got a message saying one of your videos has been removed for violating our community guidelines. So I went to check it out, and it was a video I made about Joe Biden over 8 months ago. Now I'm not going to go into detail about what the video was about because I don't want to get flagged again, but I'm sure you can get an idea from the title. So right away I was really confused because a video that is nearly a year old is all of a sudden getting taken down for harassment. So I go back to the YouTube homepage and I see this ad, and then everything kind of clicks. Now look, this video is going to get political just because of the nature of what happened. So once again, let me just say that I think Biden is the better candidate. I think he is more qualified, but the truth is he is the lesser of two evils. He is not the better of two goods. With that being said, that video was about a genuine concern that I had in regards to Joe Biden. I believe that if you vote blindly just by your political party, that you are an idiot. So I believe that it is important for the people to have all the information that they can. And just like I said in that video, the clips and stories that I was showing were getting taken off the internet. And look what happened to my video. Nearly a year later, a week before the election. That's not a coincidence. Now to make matters worse, I dove into the community guidelines involving harassment and I found this. An exception involving high-ranking political officials. So I guess in the YouTube moderation team's eyes, a former vice president and current presidential nominee isn't quite high enough. Now I'm taking this pretty seriously because I got a warning for something that seems like to me is pretty plainly stated as not against the guidelines. And unlike strikes, warnings don't go away unless your appeal goes through, and I have a feeling my appeal is not going to get accepted. To me, this feels like straight up political censorship. This video had over 100,000 views and it was not taken down because of somebody's report. This was some sort of team looking for these kinds of videos. And I know this because it was not the only video that I had restricted yesterday. My video, I infiltrated the anti-vax community, got age restricted yesterday after being uploaded for 4 months. Now I have rewatched this video a couple of times and there is absolutely nothing that warrants an age restriction, and I'm sure if you went and watched it yourself, you'd come to the same conclusion. Now I'm not sure why this would happen at all because again, like I said, there's nothing that warrants an age restriction, but I'm pretty sure that it's in some way connected to my video being removed. Now, if you keep up with the YouTube drama, you would know that this is not the first time YouTube has done something shady this year involving not following their own policies. Now, if you value the integrity of free speech at all, then this should be a problem for you. Now, I fully understand that YouTube does not have to let anybody say anything on their website because that's what it is. It's their website, it's their platform. But until now, they've set a precedent to where people have generally been able to talk about what they want to. But now it's gotten to a point where it seems that certain people and certain groups are getting to decide what is said. And as a channel that is solely about me expressing my opinions, that's a little frightening. Now to give you an idea of the hypocrisy, a few months ago, Critical released this video. I'm not going to go too far into it because I think you should just go watch the video, but basically he talks about this YouTuber whose channel is practically dedicated to eating live animals in very gruesome ways. Now this sparked a lot of other YouTubers making videos about this and subsequently millions of people reporting these videos in this channel. Now even though animal abuse is strictly forbidden in their guidelines, YouTube took absolutely zero action against this channel. Why? Well, probably because the people who bring the most revenue to YouTube weren't worried about it. But the second those same people have an issue they do care about, it's going to get taken care of. Similarly, the people who pay the most for ads will get that same treatment. If you still don't believe me, I had that video reviewed twice to try to get it monetized because it was the best performing video on my channel. Now, while both times it was deemed not suitable for advertisers, after 2 manual reviews, I received no flags or any sort of indication that this was not fit for YouTube. Now, for some reason, right around election time and right after Biden buys a campaign ad, it's not appropriate anymore. If you really think there's nothing wrong with that, I sincerely hope you're not old enough to vote yet. So I don't really have much more to say. I think I've pretty much made my point. But I do want to ask a favor of you guys if you are willing. On my Twitter, which I'll put on the screen now, I have reached out to Team YouTube trying to get some attention brought to this problem. I feel like they're probably just going to dismiss anything I tweet at them because I don't have a pretty check next to my name. But I feel like if enough people go and reply and urge them to take some sort of action, that it might help. So if you happen to share my opinion that I have been wronged, I would really appreciate the help. So I'd like to kind of wrap this up by saying that I don't don't think opinions on this issue should really be a party versus party problem. If you happen to think that I'm being unreasonable, I'd like you to keep in mind that elections are every 4 years, and that next election it might be your opinion or your video being taken down. This is not a Republican versus Democrat problem, this is not a liberal versus conservative problem, this is a problem of political censorship on one of the most influential platforms on the planet. So I hope that even if you think that I was wrong for making that video, that we can still find some sort of common ground based off that principle. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
We do not stand the YouTube moderation team, period. But we do stan anyone who subscribes to AugustTheDuck, so you never miss any of his swaggy, delectable content. If you don't, I will be forced to uppercut your grandmother.